Feeling breathless can be really frightening. You can feel out of control, and sometimes it feels as though there's no way to get that breath back. However, there are lots of things that you can do to get back that control and not allow your breathlessness to be in charge of you. We're going to show you some strategies in this video to help you to practice techniques to make that breathing feel more comfortable and use when you start to feel that you're becoming breathless.
So what is good? What is good, efficient breathing? We're designed to breathe in a certain way to meet our normal body demands. So we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. And this is really essential for all the functions of all of the organs within our body. So we're designed to breathe using two different styles of muscles. The first is our primary muscle of breathing, and that's our diaphragm. And our diaphragm sits at the base of our lungs, and it contracts and flattens down as we breathe in, and then it relaxes and the air comes out as we breathe out. The diaphragm is designed for breathing. It's a really efficient muscle, uses very, very little energy, and it's the first one to start when we're born, and the last to stop when we leave. So the diaphragm is a really efficient muscle, uses very, very little energy. We like to call it the Mo Farah of muscles. It can just keep going. It's an endurance muscle. Then we have our accessory muscles of breathing. So our accessory muscles, they come into the neck, they're into the front of our chest, into our back, in between our ribs. And these muscles are designed to help us to breathe when we need to increase our breathing rate, or we need to increase the amount of air that we're shifting throughout our lungs. Now these muscles have other functions as well. So what that means is that they use a lot more energy to help us to breathe. We like to call them our Usain Bolts of breathing. So they are good for those short, sharp episodes, but not for keeping going. So when we start breathing a lot more, utilising perhaps our upper chest, using those accessory muscles to help us to breathe on a day-to-day basis or on minimal activity, breathing becomes exhausting, becomes really, really tiring. So it's important for our bodies to relearn, to really think about how are we designed to breathe? How should we be moving the amount of air within our lungs? One of the first things that we always think about is the nose. The air and the oxygen enters the body via the nose. The nose is designed to warm and filter air. It's designed to slow down and actually control the flow of breath towards the diaphragm. Then we need to think about how much air do we need to shift within the lungs. And actually, it's really interesting to know that the whole of our lungs can take around 4 to 6 litres of air. But normal, good, efficient breathing, we should only be shifting around 500 mils, which is just that little bit bigger than a Coke can. But what's really important is where is the breath? Where are we moving the breath? And that's where we need to think about what's the diaphragm doing and really trying to direct that flow of breath towards the diaphragm. And then the last thing to think about is the timing. So the length of the in-breath to the out-breath. And one thing that can be really useful when we're thinking about how long we should be breathing in and out for is the use of a rectangle. And so we tend to say that if you breathe in on the short side of a rectangle, and breathe out on the long side, and again in on the short side, out on the long side. That just helps people to sort of visualise that the out breath should be slightly longer than the in breath. So now let's have a look at our own breathing. Let's analyse how we are breathing ourselves, see if we can notice any changes that we may be able to make.
So now we're going to think about how to assess your own breathing. First thing we want to notice is whether you're breathing through your nose or through your mouth. When you breathe through your nose, it helps to draw the air down towards your diaphragm. And if you breathe through your mouth, it can cause you to be more prone to cough or to breathe just using the upper part of your chest. The next thing to think about is whether you are moving your tummy as you breathe. So you might find it useful to put one hand on your tummy and one hand on your upper chest. As you're breathing in and out, Look down and see which of those hands is moving. Can you feel your tummy moving more or your upper chest moving? See if you can think about keeping the top part of your chest nice and still and allowing the tummy to expand and fall as you are breathing. Next thing to consider is whether all these muscles around your neck and shoulders are very tense or if you're able to relax them. In the nice relaxed position, they give plenty of capacity for your diaphragm to do the work, and it takes the pressure off these muscles. As you're breathing, see if you can think about whether that breath is nice and smooth or if there are stuttery, juddery movements within it. Our breath should just flow in and out nice and smoothly. Think about whether you can hear your breath. It should be nice and quiet when you're just breathing at rest. So just see if you can make that breath nice and relaxed and quiet. This is a good exercise to practice for a few minutes every few days, just to see if you can pick up any unusual ways that you are breathing, and then you can practice correcting them. So let's practice the breathing technique. We've got you nice and comfortable lying here on the bed. Let's pop the pillow under your knees just so that your legs are a bit more relaxed. Are you comfortable there? So this is an exercise that you can use every day to practice getting your breathing into the normal pattern. And then when you're more used to it, you can use it any time during the day when you feel that you are starting to become breathless and you need some way to recover. Okay? So it looks as though you're nice and relaxed there. I can see that your shoulders are nice and resting onto the bed. Just make sure that you've got no sort of tension in your muscles around your shoulders. And we want you to be breathing in and out through your nose. Think about the muscles around your jaw. Just make sure that you've got no tension in your face and your neck. And then as you're breathing, want to be concentrating on getting that breath coming down to your stomach. Feel that tummy rise and fall. Good. And we're looking to see that the in-breath is shorter than the out-breath. So we're thinking about that rectangle as you breathe. Good. And we're looking out for any signs that you might be feeling that you're hungry for extra air. So look out for any urges to sigh or cough or yawn. And then just reset. And get back into that nice relaxed pattern. And see if you can carry that on for as long as you can. Good.